A few weeks ago, the US government banned Claude Fable 5, the most capable model Anthropic has ever released. Just like that, gone. Yesterday, it came back online for everyone, after weeks where only a small group of researchers and big companies could even touch it. There's a phrase people are starting to throw around for anyone who gets shut out of tools like this: an underclass. Not because they aren't smart enough, because they either never learned how to use tools like this or they never got the access to try. Right now, in this exact moment, you have both. You have the access and you're about to have the knowledge. But nobody knows how long that window stays open, because this thing has already been banned once. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through why it got banned in the first place, why it suddenly came back, and the one official method Anthropic recommends for prompting it to get the best results. And then I'm putting it through 3 serious challenges, each one built from a single prompt, so you can see exactly what it can and can't do. Let's get into it. Here's the story, and it's worth understanding before we build anything. Anthropic first launched Claude Fable 5 a few weeks ago as their most powerful model to date. Just days later, the US government stepped in and pulled it offline entirely, citing cybersecurity concerns. It simply vanished from public access. Then, yesterday, after Anthropic layered in a new set of safeguards and worked things out with regulators, it came back, live, for everyone, no waitlist. That's the exact model we're testing today, and Anthropic is calling it the best one they've ever built for something called agentic coding. Now, agentic coding sounds like a phrase designed to make you feel out of the loop, so let's break it down properly because it's the entire reason the rest of this video is even possible. The old way AI wrote code worked kind of like a smart friend handing you a paragraph of code and then walking away. Whatever you did with it after that, running it, fixing it, testing it, was entirely your problem. Agentic coding flips that completely. The AI builds the thing, runs it, checks whether it actually works, fixes whatever's broken, and keeps repeating that loop on its own until the job is genuinely finished. That's the real shift here. It's not just that the code is better written, it's that the AI actually finishes the job without you babysitting it. Here's what that looks like in practice. Instead of asking for the code for a login page, you ask for a working login page. It writes the code, opens it up, notices the button isn't functioning, fixes the button, and only stops once the page is actually working end to end. Here's why this actually matters, even if you've never written a single line of code in your life. When a model can finish an entire coding job on its own, start to finish, you can describe a piece of software in plain English and get the finished product handed back to you. You become the person with the idea. The model becomes the one who builds it. And this isn't just me getting excited about a demo. There's an actual benchmark for this called SWE Bench. Picture a massive pile of real bugs pulled from real existing software. Not toy problems, actual production bugs. And the test is simple. How many of them can the AI fix completely on its own with no human stepping in? Fable 5 fixes more of these bugs than any model that's come before it. That is about the closest thing we currently have to actually measuring whether an AI can do a developer's job. And right now, it's the best in the world at it. But a bar chart on a slide only tells you so much. So instead of reading numbers at you, let's hand this thing 3 of the hardest things I could think of and see whether it actually delivers or just talks a big game. Quick honest note before we jump in. The new safeguards that let this model back online are still being actively tuned. That means right now it can occasionally flag a completely normal, harmless request, even a plain, boring coding request, as if it were suspicious. Anthropic says they're refining that over the coming weeks, so if you try this yourself and hit a random block, that's likely why. Here's something nobody tells you when a new model drops. Most people talk to it exactly the way they talk to the old one, get a mediocre result back, and just shrug and assume that's as good as it gets. But the model underneath got smarter, and if your instructions stay lazy, your results stay lazy right along with them. Think of it like handing a genuinely brilliant new hire a vague, one-line brief and expecting a polished result. The smarter the hire, the more they reward a clear, detailed brief, and the more they punish a lazy one. So before building anything today, there's one setup step worth stealing for yourself. Anthropic actually published an official guide on exactly how to prompt Fable 5 for the best results. The people who literally built this model sat down and wrote out how to talk to it properly. Instead of manually writing a fresh, guide-compliant prompt every single time, I saved that entire guide once as a reusable instruction set. Now, when I want something built, I just describe what I want in plain, everyday English, and it automatically writes the ideal, guide-approved prompt for me behind the scenes. That's the entire trick behind every build you're about to see. One simple, plain English request goes in, and one perfectly structured, expert-level prompt comes out. First challenge, and it's a big one, a GTA-style open-world game. Normally, building something like this requires an entire studio. Designers, 3D artists to construct the city, programmers to make the car actually drive, and the cops actually chase you. Months of work, tens of thousands of dollars, just for a rough, unpolished version. I didn't write the game prompt myself. I described what I wanted in plain language, and the setup wrote back a full game specification. Open world, driving mechanics, control scheme, the entire structure laid out exactly in the style Fable 5 responds to best. I gave it a quick 10-second glance to make sure it wasn't aimed at the wrong thing, and then I ran it. From that point on, it was completely hands-off. It wrote the game itself, created the files, ran them, built the world piece by piece, and checked its own work as it went. Nobody touching the keyboard. It built the whole thing as a small website running full 3D graphics right inside the browser. Nothing to install, no console needed, just a web page that happens to be a fully playable game. When it finished, it opened the game on the local machine. A title screen appeared, controls listed out, a fully open world built entirely by AI. We walked a full 3D city, walked up to a car, pressed E, and we were driving. Engine sounds, proper animations, the camera following smoothly, the wheels actually turning, buildings with real depth, clip a pedestrian, and wanted stars appear. Just like the real game, the police give chase, the car can crash and catch fire, there's even a working pause menu. And here's the part that matters most. It got all of this right on the very first try. 0 rounds of bug fixing, a drivable GTA clone, complete with a police and wanted system, driving mechanics, and crashes, all from one single prompt we didn't even write by hand. Second challenge, a Minecraft-style game. Normally, this takes a team weeks of work just to get the blocks, the physics, and the world all playing nicely together at the same time. So we went back to the exact same process. Describe what you want in plain English, let it write the ideal, guide-approved prompt, drop it in, and let it build. The only thing that changed was the request itself. The method stayed identical. What came back was called voxelcraft, and it genuinely looked like Minecraft. First-person view, a fully blocky world, grass, sand, trees, clouds drifting slowly overhead. It even built its own characters. And this being the second successful build in a row, notice the actual pattern here. It wasn't luck on the first game. The exact same 3-step process just produced a completely different, fully working game. Walk the terrain, hold down left click, and the blocks genuinely break apart. Dirt and grass separating exactly like the real game. There's a working inventory bar along the bottom. It didn't just copy the look of Minecraft, it copied how the mechanics actually function. There's a sheep wandering around, a pig too. Punch them and they drop items. Grab a block, place it down, stack a few together into a small structure. And look at the water. It's actually rendering properly, genuinely behaving like water, which is usually one of the hardest details in any game to get right. It nailed it in one shot. Water that moves realistically, blocks that break apart correctly and drop the right items, animals wandering the world. Normally, each one of those is its own separate headache to build. Here, they all showed up together, working in one single attempt. 2 games, 2 prompts, not one single line of code typed by hand. Third and final challenge. And honestly, the one I was most curious about. Apple's iPhone 18 hasn't even launched yet. It doesn't officially exist. The question was simple. Can Fable 5 make a genuine Apple-style commercial for a phone that isn't even out yet? Not a rough sketch. A real clean 30-second style commercial, the kind that normally needs a full agency, a creative director, a motion designer, days of work, and a few $1,000s minimum. I picked a phone that doesn't exist yet on purpose. There's no finished ad anywhere for it to copy or reference. So whatever it made, it genuinely had to invent from scratch. And here's the real constraint that makes this different from the 2 games. There was no script, no frames designed ahead of time, no instruction on what to say, what specs to highlight, or how it should end. It was handed exactly one thing, a single leaked photo of the iPhone 18. That was the entire input. No brief, no mood board, no reference video, 1 image and 1 sentence. Same process as before. The setup writes the prompt. We ask for a 30-second style ad as a single file. Drop it in and let it build. Out came 1 file. A red iPhone spinning slowly in the dark. Clean text fading in. Camera specs, chip details, all sounding exactly like something out of a real product launch. And watch the ending. It resolved onto a phone home screen with a notification sitting right there. It gave itself an ending. Nobody asked it to do that. It simply understood on its own what an Apple-style ad is supposed to feel like. Think about everything it worked out entirely by itself from that single photo. The color grading, the camera movement, which specs would sound impressive to a viewer, the pacing of the text on screen, and even the ending shot. Nobody handed it any of that. 1 leaked photo in, and it invented the entire concept. Built the 3D phone, animated the spin, picked the specs, wrote the taglines, and closed it out, all without a single extra instruction. So let's recap quickly. 3 challenges, 3 single prompts, 3 finished builds, a drivable open-world game, a fully playable Minecraft clone, and a commercial for a phone that doesn't even exist yet. Not one line of code typed by hand, and every single one landed on the first try. That's the real difference agentic coding makes. It's not that the AI writes slightly better code, it's that it finishes the entire job and checks its own work while you're not even watching. Whether that excites you or makes you a little nervous probably depends on what you do for a living. Honestly, it should be a bit of both. If this video actually helped you understand what this AI can really do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I put out videos like this regularly, breaking down exactly what's new in AI and how to actually use it, not just talk about it. Drop a like if you want to see more builds like this one. And if you know someone who'd find this useful or who just wouldn't believe an AI built a drivable GTA clone from one prompt, share this video with them, send it straight to their DMs. They genuinely won't believe it until they see it for themselves. Let me know down in the comments which of these 3 builds surprised you the most, and if there's something specific you'd want me to try building next, drop that below too. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.